understand that how humans are being manipulated at this time is through energetic manipulation. They are being implanted with thought forms and beliefs that keep them in this low frequency of low self-esteem, thought forms of I'm not good enough, I'll never be successful, and of course there are the belief systems around who you need to be in this reality in order to be accepted, loved, in order to belong. There are all these thought forms being blasted out of your media channels that are, in a sense, brainwashing individuals and implanting thoughts and ideas in their mental construct that are of a limiting nature.
You mentioned earlier about the suppression. There are beings on the planet that are, for their own benefit, so to say, they are manipulating narratives, in a sense, trying to keep humanity from this natural evolution, reconnecting with our star families and technologies and all this stuff. And this has been going on for quite some time. Is it of your opinion that, like a beach ball being pushed down in the water and being submerged there, that when you release it, it shoots out very quickly? Are we going to have an accelerated sort of catch-up period to our natural-born evolution, in a sense?
Yes, well, you are asking about the future again, so we're laughing at that. But what we wish for you to know anytime that we speak about or someone asks us about this collective of beings, in the past, we have referred to this group of beings that are holding or trying to hold humanity down or certainly limit you to a certain bandwidth of frequency. In the past, when we've been asked about that, we've referred to this group as the toddlers. And so we refer to this group as the toddlers for a couple of reasons. Number one is that it reflects their, we'll say, immature level of consciousness. We'll put it that way. Number two, referring to them as the toddlers tends to release a lot of the heaviness or density or fear that some of you carry around in relation to it. In other words, there's this fear of suppression. There's this fear around having your power taken away. And we would say the ironic thing about that is that's exactly what they're using to keep you down. So when you are in fear or when you are in doubt or when you feel powerless, then in a sense, they are winning in a sense, although that's not the right term, winning. But understand that how humans are being manipulated at this time is through energetic manipulation. And so another way of saying that is that they are being, you could say, implanted with thought forms and beliefs that are limiting in nature, that prevent them from recognizing their true identity, that keep them in this low frequency of low self-esteem, thought forms of I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'll never be successful. And of course, there are the entire belief systems around what success is and who you need to be in this reality in order to be accepted, loved, in order to belong. There are all these thought forms being blasted out of your media channels that are, in a sense, brainwashing individuals and implanting thoughts and ideas in their mental construct that are of a limiting nature. So this is why in our interactions, we focus so heavily on recognizing your true identity as the observer or the witness of what's going on within your mind. It's only when you recognize that you are the observer, you are not the mind itself. This is not your identity. It is very much like a software program running on a computer, where the mind is the software, the body's the hardware. You are the ones sitting at the computer. You're the observer. You're witnessing the thought forms. You're witnessing the constructs. It is only when you step back into the seat of witness can you recognize what programs are running in your mind, in your mental construct. And then you can evaluate how limiting they are and if they're true or not. We would say if you have a heavy, dense feeling when you think those thoughts, if you have what you would experience as a negative emotion when you think those thoughts or hold those beliefs, that means that you are in this limited bandwidth that is holding you in a certain vibration. When you rise above that, first of all, by noticing who it is you truly are as this observer, and then you recognize you can let those thoughts go and you can decide, you can create new beliefs and new thought forms, you can create new perspectives that you have deliberately chosen that feel much lighter, that feel much more exciting, that feel like freedom to you. Now, nobody is controlling you except if you are letting them dictate what's going on in your mind. If you are letting others dictate what's happening in your mind, then that's how they are sneaking in and controlling your frequency. So deeply understand how it is that this group, that is the toddlers, are seeking to hold humanity down, like that beach ball you spoke of. The rising up of that beach ball is the recognition that those thoughts are not true. And that I am not this limited being. I'm a being of power. I'm an infinite being. Nobody can control me because nobody can ultimately control my mind. And then you're free. And then your frequency rises to the level that is above that dominant frequency that is, in a sense, we'd say holding many humans captive at this time.
Yeah, and what I've noticed with a lot of the people who tend to fall victim to these narratives, they've lost or forgotten this idea of being interconnected with everything.
Yeah.
And they fell into the illusion of separation, right? So what can we do for those of us who are on this call and who are remembering that we are interconnected, that all is one? Is there anything we can do to help our so-called fallen brothers and sisters that have maybe gone deeper into that illusion of separation?
Yes, so we would say the way that you can be of greatest assistance is through your own individual emanation, through your own individual state of being. Your state of being, meaning how you feel in any given moment, reflects where you are at vibrationally. So if you make state of being your priority in terms of you wake up in the morning, you pay attention to yourself, you ask how you're feeling, you take deliberate action to shift your state in whatever way feels right to you. You activate that feeling of excitement or whatever the feeling is that you prefer, a feeling of joy, a feeling of bliss, a feeling of gratitude, appreciation, excitement, passion, joy, harmony, beauty, whatever the feeling tone is, but you deliberately get in the practice of activating that within yourself every morning. Now, number one, that feels good to you. Each and every one of you would prefer to live in that state of being than you would live in a depressed state of being or a powerless state of being. And you do have what it takes. You do have the resources to shift your state. Many are just not practiced in that deliberate shifting of energy or shifting of frequency. It takes intention. It takes deliberate action. It takes practice, so you prove to yourself that you are in control of your state of being. It's something that you can shift. It's something that's independent of what's going on externally. So when you take action to shift your state, what happens is your entire energy field shifts. You have a completely different emanation. And then you walk out into the world and it doesn't even really matter that much. It doesn't matter as much as you think it does what you do. In other words, many beings we interact with are very much preoccupied with what to do. What do? I need to know my purpose. What is it? Can you tell me what it is? They want to find that out because they are under this hypnotic spell in your reality that is all about action. And there is no consideration in terms of energy. So we would say what is most important is your state of being, your emanation. That's what comes first. That's what you focus on. And then the ways in which you are meant to be of service will present themselves to you. But those opportunities will not present themselves to you until and unless you've anchored that higher state of being, because that is what's important. It doesn't matter where you work or what you do. If you're emanating this state of being, all the individuals in your reality pick up on that, and it actually makes it easier for them to start to shift into that state too. It's contagious. So we would say focus again on your resonance, your state. Focus on that feeling of excitement. Notice you can create that for yourself. It doesn't matter who's in the White House. You can wake up and feel excited if that is your desire to do so. And so your emanation is really what makes the difference.